Welcome back to Fantasy Fights. This time Wladimir Klitschko goes up against Kenny Norton. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Two fighters from different generations. Looking forward to it. Let's take a look at Wladimir Klitschko, 64-5 with 53 knockouts, 6'6", 250, an 81-inch reach. He was generally considered the heavyweight champion of the world from 2009 to 2015. We're going to be dealing with his prime years from 2005 to 2014, a period in which he was 22-0 with 16 knockouts. Now, all that's really going to be generated when he changed managers to Emmanuel Stewart. Now, yes, he did lose his first fight to Lamont Brewster under Stewart's guidance, but after that he came back and went almost 10 years without a defeat. Stewart changed his style, and you can see all the victories that he ran off. The average size of his opponents, 6'2", 227. Keep that in mind. We'll compare that to Norton. Kenny Norton, his record was 42-7-1, 33 knockouts. He was 6'3", 215, had an unusually long reach, 80 inches, and he was recognized by the WBC as a heavyweight champion of the world in 1978. His prime years were 1973 to 1978. He was 12-4 during that period. He lost twice to Muhammad Ali during that stretch, once to George Foreman, and a very controversial decision to Larry Holmes. Those are three of the most dominant fighters in heavyweight history, so Norton was in good company. As we look at the fighters that he went up against, you can see Muhammad Ali and Foreman. Jerry Corey, we're going to take a look at that fight. Jimmy Young, I didn't even mention that win in 1977. Young had just come off that victory over George Foreman. Close loss to Larry Holmes. And of course he catapulted back into the heavyweight picture with his big first-round knockout over Dwayne Bobbick in 1977, who was undefeated at the time. The average size of his opponents, 6'3", 215. Height-wise, they were about the same, 12-pound advantage for the Klitschko opponents.
Wearing red with gold, official weight 112.2 kilos. His professional record stands at 61 victories, including 52 knockouts, with 3 defeats, and he is undefeated during his 10-year rule as the heavyweight champion of the world. From Kiev, Ukraine, 3-time world champion, the reigning, defending, universally recognized, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Klitschko!
Next fight we're going to look at is another white heavyweight who was one of the most popular fighters of the 1960s and 1970s, and that's Jerry Corey. And this is late in Corey's career. He still had a lot in the tank, and this was another big win for Ken Norton. He is just pummeling Corey. He's bigger, stronger, and faster. Now the question in fighting Corey was, did Norton have a good enough chin to stay with him? And he proves that he does. Corey can't get him out of there and takes an incredible punishment in this fight. That's Norton's style. He gets in close to you. He's got that 80-inch reach. He has a real good jab for a person who comes right at you all the time. Much better than Joe Frazier's was, who had the same type style. You can see Corey's doing everything he can. Eventually the fight's going to be stopped. That's kind of a highlight film of Ken Norton. Here he is against Muhammad Ali and now Larry Holmes. He went 15 rounds with both those great fighters. He had fast hands. And I know that a lot of people are going to say, well, he didn't have a Foreman knocked out a lot of people in 2 rounds. He had a very solid chin. He was a very solid heavyweight. He took Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali's best. Neither one of them were ever able to put him down. Jerry Corey's another great fighter, was unable to put him down. So he had a very, very strong chin. He was well past his prime when Ernie Shavers knocked him out. So don't get all caught up in that for Wladimir Klitschko because of his style. And he's one of the best conditioned fighters that ever entered the ring. Now we're going to take a look at Wladimir Klitschko. This is against Thompson in one of his many defenses of his title and his belts. And he just wears him out. That's a rather tall man. He's 6'7", and knocks him out. I believe they fought twice. This is Klitschko after Emmanuel Stewart got a hold of him. Remember, Emmanuel Stewart also was in charge of Lennox Lewis. Here's Klitschko against Samuel Peter, one of the top heavyweights in the world at the time. And he defeated Samuel Peter on two occasions. It wasn't enough that he beat people one time. He had to go back and beat them again. He was around a long, long time. And here he is. This is against Chris Bird, who's one of the top contenders and had no chance. Another fighter that he defeated twice. And Bird had no chance against the strength and power. Here he is against Calvin Brock, one of the top up-and-coming fighters in the world at the time. And Brock is bombed out as well. He has no chance. Another fight that we're going to look at is David Haye. Possibly the biggest fight that he faced in his prime was against Haye. And he dominated David Haye. It was an ugly fight, a lot of holding. And that's what you're going to see with Wladimir Klitschko in his prime. He held a lot. He was very strong. Didn't let people get into his body. Was very cautious, unlike his early years when he was very reckless and got caught by Corey Sanders and exhausted. He had changed his training techniques because he was having endurance trouble early in his career. But he came back from those two defeats to go 10 years without a loss. Great jab. Haye was just lightning quick. Tried his best, but Wladimir pretty much dominated the fight. And as I said, it was not, these are highlights of it. There was not that much action in this fight. A lot of holding. And you can see Haye was diving at him, trying to get at him. He's a hard man to hit. Let's take a look at the comparison chart. Hand speed, no advantage. Both of them had fast hands. Boxing ability, Klitschko has a big advantage there. KO power, both of them were very strong. Chin, although both of them suffered some knockouts in their career, overall they had strong chins. Size and defense, Klitschko. Endurance, definitely Norton, one of the best conditioned fighters in heavyweight history. Now, moving on, adaptability. Klitschko could adapt to opponents much better. Foot speed and strength, both of them were very strong. Jab, Klitschko had an outstanding jab. Cuts and reach, no advantage. Body attack goes to Norton. Wladimir has a 5-2 advantage. Before I render my decision, please hit the like button and subscribe, and we'd love to have you become a member. If you like the fights, you can get these on a regular basis. This fight is actually part of the heavyweight elimination tournament that we're running. Klitschko and Norton's going to be a great fight. Contrasting styles. Norton's going to be pressuring him the whole fight. And, of course, Wladimir's going to be holding and jabbing, fighting from a distance because of his superior size. He's got a 3-inch advantage, but the reach advantage is nothing. It's almost even, 81-80. And remember, Norton had a pretty good jab, controlling the fight. I see him winning a 7-4-1 decision, 7-5, something like that. I'm not ruling out that Kenny Norton does not put down Klitschko at some point in the fight. That overhand right that he had, Klitschko was somewhat susceptible to punches coming out of nowhere. But I think Klitschko is going to recoup, gather himself, and still control the fight, much like he did Samuel Peter. Remember, he went down twice in that fight and came back and won a dominating decision. Love to hear your comments and what you think about the decision, and thanks for watching. Let's look at the brackets real quick. Wladimir Klitschko is going to advance against Kenny Norton with his 12-round decision. and he's going to fight the winner of the Lennox Lewis-Chris Bird fight in our heavyweight elimination tournament. Thanks for watching.